Hi there, my name is Janet from English Flex. Welcome to this lesson. We are going to tackle an essay from A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. It is vital for individuals to make decisions cautiously in life since decisions made hurriedly have far reaching consequences. Wrote an essay to illustrate this assertion from Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House. More often than not, poor choices have catastrophic outcomes. Characters in Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House, such as Torvald and Krogstad, make some bad decisions that end up becoming a thorn in their flesh, as my essay furthers. Torvald makes the decision to fire Krogstad from his job at the bank, and it ends up breaking his family. Krogstad was blackmailing Nora using the forged bond and had asked her to make Torvald retain him at his post at the bank. Nora tries to convince Krogstad not to send out the dismissal letter, as she knows Krogstad writes in papers and he will write malicious articles about him. Torvald says that not only is Krogstad immoral, but also does not like the familiar tone with which he takes with him while at work, and it is for this that he wants him fired. Torvald refuses to be convinced by Nora and says that society will judge him harshly if he were to be manipulated by his wife, and he ends up sending out the dismissal letter. Upon finding the letter, we are told, Krogstad comes back to Elma's household and drops the letter detailing the forgery that Nora committed. Torvald's anger is unlike what Nora expected, as he finds out that she committed an indiscretion behind his back. His reaction convinces Nora to leave him. Despite his pleas, Nora rejects his advances, and we are told she insists on leaving the house. Torvald ends up suffering at the end as a result of sending out Krogstad's dismissal letter. Krogstad committed an indiscretion in his life that ends up painting him as a bad man in the society. While talking to Nora, he says that many years ago he was guilty of an indiscretion and he is glad that the matter never came to court. But all his ways were closed after that. He says that his one false step that had lost him or his reputation was nothing worse than the one Nora did, and he resorts to being a Shylock. His action has spoiled his name in the town, as even Dr. Rank says that Krogstad suffers from a deceased moral character, and Elma says that he forged someone's name and calls him a guilty man. Krogstad loses the trust of the town folk, and he says he must try and win back as much respect as he can. He struggles to redeem his name for the sake of his kids. He even tells Nora that for a year and a half he has not been in any dishonorable dealings. Krogstad also loses his job at the bank for his behavior, and the job is given to Christine. Dr. Rank's father also chooses to live a carefree life that ends up hurting Dr. Rank. Nora confided to Christine that Rank suffers from consumption of the spine, as his father was a horrible man who committed all sorts of excesses, and that is why Rank has been sickly from childhood. Rank also says to Nora that his spine has had to suffer for his father's useful amusement. He says that his father did not live a healthy life, as he was partial to asparagus and consumed heaps of port and champagne, so he was an alcoholic. All his father's musings end up affecting Dr. Rank himself, who has not even had the pleasure of enjoying these things. Dr. Rank eventually says that he has done tests on himself and he is bound to die soon from his disease, and tells Nora when the two black cards with crosses on top are sent, they would signify his inevitable death. Rank's father chooses to live a carefree life, and his decision ends up hurting his son. Tavot chooses to treat Nora as a child and not as an equal partner in marriage, and this leads to their breakup. When Krogstad sets out the letter detailing the bond, Nora had expected that he would take full blame for the bond and refused to be blackmailed by Krogstad as he had high moral values. Tavot instead agrees to Krogstad's terms, reprimands Nora like a child, denies his love for her, and insults her for the forgery without even asking what the money was for, and this proves that he is a hypocrite and a coward to Nora. When Krogstad returns the bond, he says that he is safe and ironically forgives Nora for her actions. Nora realizes that she has been living a lie ever since getting acquainted to Tavot for the past 8 or more years. Nora says that they have never sat down to exchange as Tavot had forced his tastes and preferences on her. She says she has been a doll wife just like she was her papa's doll child. Theirs has been a marriage based on pretense, and she needs to stand alone to understand herself. She asks to separate from Tavot and the children with hope that if Tavot changes, then she'll come back. Tavot's decisions to reprimand Nora on the discovery of the bonds end up being detrimental as his wife leaves him. To sum up, individuals must be conscious of their choices because hurried decisions have consequences. Thank you so much for watching this long essay. Please give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Share to friends, and if you are new here, kindly subscribe to support this channel. See you in the next video.